How we doing, people? This video is how to easily beat Grafted Scion at the start of Elden Ring and what all the items are in the starter area Chapel of Dissipation, plus how to get back there later on if you fail or end up skipping the fight. As is from Soft Edition, the very first enemy of the game is willing and able to penetrate you in more ways than one, taking you to the real beginning of the game. If you're like me and the autism prevents you from moving on with life and accepting the gaff, you'll sit and remake characters to beat the boss before being able to enjoy the game. I'd actually recommend not concentrating on this if it's giving you too much grief. The rewards are good, but they aren't game breaking. Without a doubt, the most beginner friendly class to do this with is Samurai. He has very high dexterity, decent vigor, so as you'll see you can take a minor hit at times, and his endurance is high as well, so rolling, dodging and firing aren't an issue. On top of all that, he starts with a longbow, 20 normal arrows, 10 fire arrows, and armor that's just tanky enough to contribute to his ability to soak a hit here and there. To start with, you can two-hand weapons in Elden Ring by holding the triangle or Y buttons and then either pressing L1 for the left-handed slotted weapon or R1 for the right-hand slotted weapon to use it in both hands, being left and right bumper for Xbox. This opens up your weapon skill for use. Additionally, R1 will fire slot 1 arrows, R2 will fire slot 2 arrows, right bumper and right trigger respectively for Xbox. Finally, L2 or left trigger will use your weapon skill. In this case, for the longbow, you will have to hold it and then press the button for the arrow you want to fire. Now, to explain this in more depth, weapons have skills in this game. They generally consume some FP, otherwise known as your magic juice, and the longbow has the skill Mighty Shot. You'll do considerably more damage with this, however, it can very easily get you into trouble as it will take a second or more to ready the shot. So with this in mind, if the Grafted Scion is stuck in an animation, jumping up in the air and landing or generally quite far away, it's usually a good bet to throw some big mighty shots at him, but don't get greedy. In most cases he can two-hit you. So I suggest not chaining mighty shots at any point unless you are absolutely certain he is enough distance away that he can't get to you. For the most part, you want to stick far enough away from him that you're outside of his attack range, watching all these animations, popping a normal shot off into him and wheeling him down. Continue backing away until you start to reach the end of the arena, and then I suggest unlocking, sprinting, rolling past him to the opposite end, and just hope he doesn't speedily catch up to you or you'll end up having to do another loop. By using this method of just skirting around his attacks, he will drop his shield often to attack you, and that allows you to roll or back away just in time to pop a normal shot. This will be your bread and butter, essentially. Now, as for Mighty Shot, you want to use it from a distance, as even with his shield up, Mighty Shot will do a good chunk of damage, unlike the normal attack that you do with the bow. Fire arrows will do consistently more damage to him, but you have less, so I actually suggest using the long range Mighty Shots with the fire arrows on him, and the regular ones as you're backing away and pop shotting. Now, at around 50% health, he will stand up on 2 legs and prepare a huge animation, back away and continue Mighty Shots and regular shots. He will also lead that into using the weapon's special skill, which conveniently locks him into an animation for a decent chunk of time. I'd suggest normal shots as they are a lot quicker and they stack the damage up quicker when time is of the essence, and there isn't a shield to deal with. From this point on, I actually found that the fight tends to be a lot easier, as he will shy away from using his shield and try to advance on you with his blessed weapon. Shield down. This is a perfect opportunity to pop in with normal shots. You'll begin to run low around here between the regular arrows and the fire arrows. So backing right away and mighty shotting a few times with fire arrows will level the playing field. To set the record straight, I personally didn't win this fight my first go. He really rocked me. In fact, it took me well over 15 character remakes to do this for this video, but now after learning it, I feel pretty confident I could do it somewhat consistently, so it really is a learning curve. As your reward, you'll be given a whopping 3,200 runes to keep, the golden beast crest shield, and most prized of all, the ornamental straight sword. This great shield does have quite good stats, including 100% physical reduction, but the 24 strength requirement means you most likely won't want to bother in the early game. The sword, however, will make quite the experience to begin with. It requires 10 strength, 14 dex, and as you've chosen Samurai, you'll be able to use it right away. Its stats are quite good, but most importantly, it has the weapon skill, Golden Tempering. So, Golden Tempering costs 30 FP, the magic juice, to use, and once in effect will transform your strong attack into a combo attack, the one that he uses in the fight actually. And let me tell you, it will absolutely wreck shit on most enemies caught unaware. Moving on, if you're happy with this explanation and want to continue blind, to avoid spoilers, I'd stop watching now. So this area that we're in, the Chapel of Dissipation, is actually a real location on the map you can visit later on in the game, approximately mid-game, hence if you fail this, it's really not that big of a deal. To To get back here, you'll need to continue to the suggested second area of the game, Liurnia of the Lakes, Liurnia, around about halfway through, to a place called the Four Belfries. At the top of this area is a site of lost grace and a chest containing an imbued sword key. Using this, you can walk down to the next stone monument and use it to open a portal to the Chapel of Anticipation. At this point, if you've already beaten him, it'll be a casual stroll through the ruins. Or, if you're here for revenge, get ready, it'll probably be super easy for you now. From the boss arena, you can make your way back up some destroyed stairs to the area you first appeared in. Next to the chapel door is another doorway, which on your first visit was sturdily shut, but now is open and waiting to be plundered. On the ground, you'll find a key item for a quest line, Stormhawk King. I'll be covering that in a later video, so for now, hoard it away. Inside, on the balcony above the spawn area, you'll find a chest with a real spirit to summon. This summon is quite good as it can avoid a lot of melee enemies. It costs 47 FP to summon and will give you a damage buff, which does not stack with magic damage, but it will mostly for everything else. And that's it. Hopefully this has helped you out enough that you can beat the Grafted Scion, and also informs you about the items in the area itself and how to return later on. So thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe and check me out on Twitch, link in the description.